Hi, welcome to Careers in the Art Museum. I'm Isabella Custard, an intern at the Meadows Museum, and I'm here interviewing Amanda Dotseth, the museum's curator, about what she does. Thanks for being here, Amanda. Can you start by telling us in a nutshell what you do?
Sure. So my job is primarily to care for and research the collection. I think you'll be speaking with our collections manager at some point as well, Anne Lenhart. She's much more involved with the actual physical care of the objects. My care takes the form more of research and arriving at a better understanding of how objects were made or why they were made or how they functioned in the time they were created. And so I contribute in that way. So I publish my research on art history. I also teach quite a bit with the collection, and I work fairly closely with the education department. So there's an aspect of kind of conveying the new research to the public. And then I also work on exhibitions either of the permanent collection or exhibitions with loans from other museums that help inform our knowledge of the permanent collection, and on new acquisitions. So that is the fact that we are actively adding to our collection and filling perceived gaps in the collection or acquiring objects that help us understand it better. So those are kind of the core facets of my job.
Okay, so how do you decide there's a piece of art you want, and then how do you go about getting it?
So the way we usually identify acquisitions is either because galleries contact us. There's a number of galleries we've worked with or acquired things from multiple times over the years, and so we have a good relationship with them, and they know our collections as well. And so sometimes they'll reach out to us and say, "Hey, we have this great object you might be interested in."
Hmm.
So there's kind of a network in that sense as well. We also, spend a lot of time flipping through auction catalogs or looking at online auctions. Sometimes really interesting acquisitions come up, not just at the big auction houses like Sotheby's or Christie's, but also smaller auction houses. So I think between all of us in the curatorial department, we all kind of have an eye on what's out there. Once we see something we're interested in inquiring, we usually at least in pre-COVID times, would try to see it in person. And that happens either by going to the artwork or the artwork coming to us.
Okay.
And that helps us determine that it's the quality. It has to be of the best quality to be in our collection. We have a small collection that we exhibit all the time. And so we don't really have room for things that we can't put on the wall. Mm-hmm. So after we decide it's what it says it is and what we think it is and that we want it, we have to negotiate a price, and then oftentimes that's followed by fundraising and other initiatives to be able to actually purchase the artwork.
So what steps would someone need to take to become a museum curator?
The educational requirement is usually a PhD in art history. There are plenty of curatorial roles, however, at the undergraduate and master's level, particularly in smaller museums or galleries, or if you work on contemporary art. To work with a collection of old master paintings mostly and sculpture, in my role, I have a PhD. So there's an educational component. That doesn't mean you need to study art history as an undergraduate. The kind of key skills you learn are critical thinking, research. Languages are also very important. Having a speaking ability, but also just being able to read. So I speak a couple languages, but I read more than that because I need it for my research. The education component, there's internships like yours and fellowships. They're also key to getting experience in the field and working with actual objects. This is a really important component of my training. And like I said, languages, education, and really just getting out there and looking at art. Most of us live in places that have some kind of art museum, and there's a lot you can learn by just spending time with a careful looking exercise and thinking critically about, what that label says or how this exhibition's installed. Those are all kind of things that will help you develop your eye and your mind to working with art on a daily basis.
Yeah, for sure. So, what advice would you have for someone who's interested in becoming a curator?
My advice would be if you're in high school and you can take AP Art History, that's a really good way to get a kind of broad sense of what the history of art looks like. And after that, I would say, if you don't take it in high school, you can, as an undergraduate, maybe take an art history class. You could take one, even an art appreciation class at community college. If you're just trying to figure out if you like it, and then go to museums. If like what you really want to do on your day off or whatever is go to a museum, then that's usually a good sign. And if you're someone who ask questions of the object. So you're not just asking, let's say, historical questions like, where is this artist from, or what role in the church did this artwork or this image play? But if you're interested in what is this thing made out of, where did that canvas come from? Who wove it? What's in this paint? How did this bright red get made? So those kind of fundamental questions about materials are also a good way to kind of test your own interest in the field. And talk to people who are doing it, obviously.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you so much for joining us today, Amanda, and thanks for watching Careers in the Art Museum.
Thanks for having me.